Hi folks, this is Karim Rao from IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the Red Alert Lab. This is the video number 70. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been working now for 5 videos on preparing a Windows 11 master image. So this newly introduced Microsoft operating system, we are preparing ourselves to deploy this system by creating a master image which we apply to all of our PCs in our network or in our domain. This operating system was introduced in October 2021, and it will replace Windows 10 by October 24, 2025, or the year 2025, because Windows 10 will expire by this time. Okay, so we are preparing ahead for deploying this operating system by creating a master image, and we will test this operating system with this master image on some PCs in our network to see the advantages and disadvantages of this operating system. So we'll continue working with the master image preparation. We have talked about a lot of things for creating this master image, playing with the settings of the Windows 11 to make it more faster, installing programs, open source programs that are needed by most users and are widely used in large companies and corporations. So we will continue working with the tips and tricks and tweaks to the Windows 11. In this video we will talk about some tweaks to make the Windows 11 more easy for the users to deal with, and to make some tweaks to reduce or to save space on the C partition, which is the partition that the operating system is installed on. So let's go and continue working with the tips and tricks for the Windows 11 master image. So now, first thing we need to do, we need to open the virtual machine. Okay, and then the first thing we need to do is to customize the start menu for the users that will sit on this machine, that the users that will use this operating system. What I mean by customizing the start menu, the user should see all of the programs that he frequently uses should be appearing in the start menu and to be pinned and to be appearing in front of him. So let's, for example, see, this is the program OpenShell. If we open it, okay, what I need to do, I need here for the user to see the frequently used programs to be pinned here in this start menu. So for example, we will pin the Office applications in the start menu. We will pin the for example the KeyPass, some of the frequently used programs, so the user, when he opened the start menu, he can see them in front of him. And you will also pin the Office applications and the most frequently used programs in the taskbar, so the user can easily find and access these programs. And by the way, this or the customized start menu and the pinned programs to the taskbar will be available for all users. Okay, so not only one user can see these customized start menu and the pinned icons in the taskbar, but all of the users can see it. So we are preparing a master profile. We all know that when you create a user account on Windows, the Windows create a profile for you. This profile consists of your desktop, your documents, your setting for the Windows. All of these are created in a profile, and this profile is only applied to you or applied to your user account. So what we will do, this is an account or a user account named Krauf. This profile for this user, all of the setting for him, all of the customized menu, all of the pinned icons in the taskbar, all of the setting or all of the profile setting for this user will be the master profile for all of the users that will be created later on this machine. So let's for example say that Ahmed will create a user on Windows 11. When he create the user, the profile or the profile setting of Karim will be applied to Ahmed. So all of the users that will be created after will have the profile setting of Karim. What we mean by the profile setting? The customized start menu, the customized taskbar, the customized setting. So let's continue, guys. Here we will customize the Windows 11 start menu to contain the frequently used programs so the user can access and find it easily. And we will also pin the frequently used programs in the taskbar so also the user can access it easily and he can find it easily. And by the way, if you pin some programs to the taskbar, you will have an option. If for example I am pinning the Brave icon, if I right click it by this here we can see that the frequently or the most visited or the recently used websites and documents, if you are using Office, or this is the icon for the Office, will be viewed from here. So most visited, you can access it directly. You can access the recently closed. For example, if I pin, for example, the Excel, so if I do this, if I tell him right click and pin it to the taskbar and I right click this one, here also I can see the recently used or the recently accessed documents. So there is a lot of benefits for pinning icons of programs in taskbar. You can by right click the icon of the program, you can see the recently used documents if it's an Office application, or the recently closed tabs, like if it is an icon for a browser. Okay, so for example, if we can right click this program, this is a program, Smart Audio, so this is a normal program for audio anyway. So we will customize this menu. Okay, here I am trying to pin the Excel in the taskbar. I will pin it in the taskbar. Okay, so we will pin it to the taskbar. We will pin the frequently used programs, so we will pin it. One of the things or the most commonly used applications is the Office, so we will pin the Excel, and then we will pin the PowerPoint, we will pin the Word, we will pin the Outlook, and all of these settings will be appearing for all of the users that are, or the user accounts that are created on this machine. Okay, we will have a certain program to do this. Okay, anyway, or to have this profile setting, including the taskbar setting and the start menu setting, will be available for all users. Okay, anyway, so now we are removing some programs from the start menu. All of these we do not use, and we will add other programs that we needed to access frequently. So we remove all of these, and then we will pin the Office applications to this start menu. Okay, so now I am removing all of the programs. All of these I don't need, so I remove it from the list. Okay, Microsoft Teams, we will remove it. Okay, so all of these we do not need it, or we don't use it frequently, so we remove all of these things. Okay, remove from the list, remove from the list. Okay, remove from the list. We remove Xbox Game Bar actually because we don't need it. Calculator, we can leave the calculator but not uninstall. Remove from list. Okay, we can leave the Paint, we can leave the Notepad, we can leave the Adobe Acrobat. Anyway, so we remove all of these things. We can also remove Adobe Reader because we don't need to open it anyway. And now we will go and pin, right click and pin to start menu. Instead of pin to taskbar, we will pin it to start menu open shell. When we do this, see this, when you click on this one and return, click back, here we can see that Excel is pinned to the start menu. So here the user can access the Excel from the start menu, or he can access it from the taskbar. Okay, so now we will do this for the frequently used programs. You can add, for example, the Word, the PowerPoint, you can add the Edge, you can add Chrome, you can add Firefox, Anyway, so we are adding all of the programs. We will pin it to the start menu. Okay, so all of these are added. Outlook, we will pin it also. Pin it to taskbar and pin it to the start menu. So we'll do both. Okay, pin to start menu. And if you go back, we will see that all of these programs are pinned to the start menu, the start menu of OpenShell, and pinned to the taskbar. And we need to add two programs to the start menu of OpenShell and to the taskbar: the Snipping Tool and the steps for record program. These are two programs. I will discuss what they do, but first we need to pin them and how we can get them. These are in Windows, I think, accessories. Anyway, so I will search the programs. These are two programs, are Snip Tool or the Snipper Tool and the Steps to Record program. These are two programs that are packed up with the Windows 11. The Snipper, it's a program to take screenshots from your desktop. As for Steps to Record, this is a program to record videos, or to record, not to record videos, to record also snapshots from your desktop and with more details. Anyway, so this is the Snipping Tool. We needed to pin it to the start menu and pin it to the taskbar. Okay, so also I think here, no, I will pin it on the taskbar and put it as a shortcut on the desktop. Okay, so we can make accessing programs more easily for the user by pin it to the taskbar or pin it to the start menu, or put it as a shortcut on the desktop. But I prefer to put less icons on the desktop. Okay, so anyway, this is a program called Steps Recorder. So this is a program to take screenshots from your desktop, but it is more advanced than Snipping Tool. It will record what you do on the desktop, and it will also create a log, or it will give you some more info about what you are doing. Okay, so let's, for example, see what these two programs do. But first we need to put a shortcut for these programs on the desktop. So this is Steps to Record. Okay, we will put it as a shortcut on the desktop. Okay, here we go. So let me have a look, or here we can see that they are all pinned to the taskbar or start menu, and some of them are pinned to the taskbar and some are on the desktop. Let's see what is the Snipping Tool. If you go to the Snipping Tool, this is the Snipping Tool. If you, for example, do like this, and for example do like this, if I take something like this, here it will take a screenshot of what I am doing. Then I can save it and use it later as a JPG. Okay, this is the Snipping Tool. So this is very useful to take screenshots. As for Steps to Record, let's open the Steps to Record. So Steps to, or Step to Record, or Steps Recorder. Let's open this one. This is the Steps Recorder. So for example, if I tell him to start, for example, now I will open this PC, okay, and then open my D data, and then open AD collection. So let's, for example, stop now recording and see what is the result. So now we can see that he will give us screenshots of what I am doing, what I have clicked on. Here is saying user left double click on this PC, so he is giving you a detailed information about what I'm doing. Here I am right clicking or double click on this PC, so he's not giving only a screenshot, he is giving a detailed written steps about what I'm doing. So here, for example, let's see this one. Here he is concentrating on what I am opening, double click on space used at this one, and then the other data. And here we can see that there is additional information: recording session, where it was recorded, steps, okay, operating system, so he's giving you a detailed info about the operating system. The steps are written in very readable in format. Program Explorer, what is the program that I have opened? Microsoft Explorer. So this is very, very detailed info about what the user is doing. if you need to reproduce a problem and take screenshots of it, this will be your good option. Not to use a snipping tool, but use the steps recorder to have more info about or if you are troubleshooting an error, let the user open the steps recorder and record the error. So he will not give you only screenshots, but he will give you detailed info about the error. Okay, so this is a very good program to use actually. So we need these two programs to be added or to be given to the user. Anyway, so now we have pinned most of the programs that we need. I think now we need to do another step or another tweak that we will do to Windows 11, which will be moving all of the user documents, pictures, music and photos from the C partition to the D partition. First of all, we need also to pin the key pass, okay, to the start menu, and you can also pin it to the taskbar. Okay, so we can pin it to the taskbar as well. We will pin it to the taskbar. So now we have pinned, or we have a lot of options. Now the user can access all of these programs from different ways. He can access it from the start menu, he can access them from the taskbar, he can access them from the desktop. So there is a lot of ways to see this or to deal with this or to access programs. Okay, so now what we will do, I think, let me see what is the next step. So here what we will do, every user, when you create a Windows account, so let's step here. Every user, when you create a Windows account on Windows 11 or a user Windows account on Windows 11 or Windows 10, there is some folders that will be related to this user. Okay, so for example, there is a folder for Karim will be named downloads, and there is another folder for his music, a folder for his OneDrive documents, a folder for his videos, a folder for his pictures, okay, his contacts, his desktop. All of these folders are only seen and viewed by Karim. So for example, if I make another Windows account named Ahmed, he will have the same folders, but he will only these folders will be viewed only by him, and I will be separately from my folders. So I have a downloads folder, Ahmed will have a downloads folder. I can see my downloads, he can see his downloads. Okay, so every user or every Windows account created on a Windows operating system, these folders are created for the user. Okay, so these folders are in the C partition, and we have discussed before that we need to have always free space on the C partition, which is the partition that the operating system is installed on. And why we need to have free space on this partition? Because the more space, free space we have on this partition, the more faster our operating system will be, because the operating system uses a lot of space. Okay, so if you have free space, this will make the operating system much faster, and this will make the virtual memory works more faster. Remember the virtual memory, and I talked about it before. So you need only to make sure that there is a free space on the C partition, so the operating system can work properly and to work faster. Okay, especially if you are working with the virtual memory concept. Anyway, so we need to move all of these folders from the C partition to the D partition, and this will not only be applied to this user, but all of the users that will be created on this machine. So let me show you all first where these folders reside. So for example, this is Karim, this is a profile. All of these folders are in the C partition. So if you go to the C partition, users, Karim, this is the Windows profile or the Windows account, and these are the folders. So we need to move all of these folders from the C partition to the D partition to free some space for the operating system. And this will not be done to the profile of Karim or to the Windows account of Karim, but all of the users that will be created after will have the same way, or their folders will be moved also from the C partition to the D partition. So let's see how we can do this step simply, or very simple way. Just you need to, first of all, we will move all of these folders to the D partition, not to the D partition. We'll create a folder named My Documents, and we will move all of these folders to it. So we'll make My Documents, and then we will move the videos folder, the music folder, the picture folders, the document folder will be moved to My Documents. This was previously in Windows XP and especially Windows XP. There was a folder named My Documents, and all of the users' folders were put in this folder, but this was removed in Windows 7 and the later operating systems. Anyway, just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Here we will create a folder, My Documents, and then we will move all of the different users documents or folders to this folder. Okay, so this is My Documents, and then simply we will right click Downloads, for example, and then okay, we will move it to the partition D, My Documents. But here is one thing to note: all of the users, okay, can see each other's documents. So for example, downloads for Kareem will be accessible by Ahmed, and documents of Kareem will be accessed by Ahmed. Okay, so he can see them, but I think he cannot play with them, or anyway. So this is one side effect of this step, that all of these folders will be shared between the users. If this PC is shared between different users, so the different folders for these users will be accessed by each of them. So Kareem can access downloads folder of Ahmed, and the same will happen, because it will not be two folders, it will be only one folder, and all of the downloads of Kareem and Ahmed will be inside this folder. Before that, there was a folder downloads for Kareem and a folder downloads for Ahmed. Okay, but now all of the users will have these folders to be shared between them. Okay, so this is one thing, but the good thing that we are freeing some space from the C partition to leave it for the operating system, and if there is a virus that will affect the C partition, all of the documents and pictures and music of the users will be saved. Okay, so now we need to go and go to the location and tell him to move the target to the D partition. Okay, D partition, and then My Documents, and then we need here to type something. We need to tell him documents /downloads, because if we do this and I have mistaken it, it will move what is inside the folder to the folder My Documents. It will not create a folder, it will not move the folder. It is moving what is inside the folder to D My Documents. So we need to tell him right or backspace or / and tell him downloads, so he will move what is in downloads folders to the D My Documents downloads folder. So this was a mistake of me, I have mistaken it, and then we will do the same for pictures, music, videos, and documents. So let's pass this real quickly. Let's go there. So let's go first to documents, just a moment. So we'll go to documents, not downloads. So here we right click documents. So here we right click documents, and then what we will do, we'll tell him, so after downloads we will move documents, folder documents to My Documents. Okay, so here we will create the folder because it's not there. So we are moving documents, and then we need to move pictures, music, and videos. So we need to do this for the rest of the folders. Okay, so let's go to pictures. If you go further, just a moment. Okay, if we go to pictures, and then we will do the same. So he's moving the folders one by one. So now we are right click pictures and then My Documents pictures. So I'm moving all of the folders. He's saying that this folder is not created in My Documents. So the folder of pictures we will move it to my documents pictures, and this pictures in my documents is not created, so we need to create it anyway. So we move pictures, then we need to move music. Okay, just a moment. So we need to move so let's continue, guys. Now we will move the rest of the folders, my music or music, to D, my documents. Okay, my music or music. So we will move it one by one. We have moved downloads, pictures, documents, then we need to move music, and then we need to move videos. So here we have moved all of the folders from the C partition to the D partition. Okay, so now this is one of the tweaks, very essential tweaks, to free space on the operating system partition. Okay, so now we have my documents, we have all of them. Still we need to have the folder of videos. So right click on properties, and we will move the videos folder to the D partition, and these folders will be available for all users. Okay, not to every individual user. Okay, so every individual user before have these folders, but now it will be shared between them anyway. So we have all of the folders moved. Okay, now we need to do another tweak to do a certain thing. I see that also this tweak is related to saving space on the C partition. Okay, let me first make sure that this is the step that I am recording now. So let's go and see. I think I'm opening the regedit. Yes, here what you do, one of the things also that I have discovered when working in my production environment, when you create or when you set up email accounts on Outlook, okay, the email accounts or the emails will be downloaded in the C partition. So if you create or you will set up an email account on the Outlook program of one of the users on a certain machine, all of his emails will be saved to the C partition, or his inbox will be saved to the C partition. So this also will decrease the space on the C partition or the operating system partition. We need to make sure that any email that will be set up on Outlook program, its inbox or its emails will be saved to the D partition. You can choose where to save the inbox or to save all of the emails of the user. When you set up the account on the Outlook, you can choose where to save the emails, to the D or the C, but we need to do this as an automatic step. So when you set up an email account on the Outlook, all of the emails of the users should be saved to the D partition, not the C partition. Okay, so we'll do this by a registry tweak. We need to tell him to force something called the OST or something called Office. Let me see what is the OST. Okay, so the OST, I think it's offline data file. Let me see what is an OST. OST meaning so OST Outlook. Okay, OST Outlook meaning sign called offline folder. Offline folders make it possible to the user to work offline and to sync and synchronize changes with Exchange server. So this is an offline folder file. Okay, this is file that you can access your emails while you are not connected to the internet. So when you create or set up an email account on Outlook, the Outlook takes all of your emails and save them, okay, as a local copy or as a copy on your hard disk on your machine. So you can access the emails through the web, and you can access it through the Outlook or access a copy of them through the Outlook. Anyway, so here the OST, okay, or the emails that are saved locally to your machine, its location is in the C partition. So you need to make sure that the OST files are not saved to the C partition. It should be saved to the D partition. So we'll do this as a registry key. Let me show you all how we can do this. First of all, we need to go to the minute number 36. So just wait for a moment. 36, okay, 36, okay. So let's go, and first of all we need to go and create a folder in the D partition named My Exchange or Exchange, and the OST files will be saved to it. We mean the OST files, the users or the local copy of the emails of the users will be saved to the D My Exchange folder. So let's see how we can force the Outlook to save the OST files to the D Exchange folder. So let's see this one. So here I need to go a little bit further. So I will open the run, okay, and tell him regedit, okay, take this and then tell him yes, and then we need to go to the key current user, software, Microsoft Office 16.0, okay, I have here Office 2021 or Office 2016, and then Outlook, and then here we will create something called, or a key called, force OST path, okay, and tell him to de-exchange. This key will force the Outlook to save the OST files, or the local copy of the emails of the users will be saved to the de-exchange folder. So this is how we can force the Outlook to do this. So let's see how we can do this. I will delete the key and create it from scratch. So let's delete the key. So it is not force. Let me first, we will delete the key. I will delete it completely. Okay, we will create under the Outlook, we will create something called expandable string value, and then it will, we named force OST path the same exact written or except writing, okay, and then we tell him to move the OST files to the exchange or de-exchange folder. So this is another thing to force the Outlook to save the local copy of the emails of the users from the C partition to the D partition. Okay, so now we have done this. Okay, and now we need to test it. So I will set up an account. So we'll go to the minute number 40. Let me go and see how this one. So we'll go to the minute 41. Let's go further. Okay, and let me see, we will create an account. Okay, so here I will create an account. Let me see the minute 43. No, let me go further. So let's go furthermore, and let's go furthermore and create an account. Just wait for a moment, guys. So let's go there again. Okay, so let's see here. So here I am creating an email profile, okay, and this is my Outlook account. So I tell him okay, and then tell him to go to my email account. This is Outlook or a Microsoft account or email account, and tell him to go and connect to it, and we'll see if the local or a copy of my emails or a local copy of my emails where it will be saved. Before it will be saved to a certain location, let me show you all where it will be saved. If we did not tell him to save a local copy of my emails to the D-Exchange partition, the default location it will be in this place. Let me show you all. It is in Kareem, something called app data. This is a hidden folder, and then local, and then something called Office. Okay, let me show you all, or let me show it Microsoft, and then if you open this, there is something called Outlook. Yes, here it is. He will save your local copy of your emails will be saved to this location. It is in the C partition. So this is will take a lot of space from the partition or the operating system partition. So we need to do this trick to save space. So let me show you all what will happen after we create this account and see if my local copy of my emails will be saved to the D partition or not. So let's see. Now I am connecting to my Outlook. He's searching for the mail server, and I'm providing the password to access my Outlook account, or Hotmail, recently or previously named Hotmail. So I will enter the password and then tell him sign in, and then next. And then let's see where the emails will be saved. Okay, so it will take a bit of time. Now you can see change account setting to see where the copy of your emails will be saved. So your emails will be on the server, and there is a local copy on your Windows 11 machine. So let's see where this local copy will be saved. If we open the Outlook, here he will begin receiving the emails, or a copy of my emails. This copy of my emails, where it will be saved. So if tell him load profile, and then we will go a little bit further. Okay, retrieving email, and then here we can see, let me show you all something here. This is my account, and this is the emails it will be received. Now is it a local copy. Here we can see that is saying that Outlook set up a local copy of your mailbox. So a local copy of your mailbox will be available on your Windows 11 machine, and will be available online or on the Microsoft Mail server. So if you go to the home page, go to Advanced, and then Advanced, and then Outlook data file settings. So let's first again, let's see where this option is. We will get to him, right click, okay, and then properties, or data file properties, and then Advanced, and then Advanced, and then Outlook data file setting to see where the local copy of my mailbox will be. So here we will open Outlook data file. Okay, let's return back to Outlook data file. Okay, if you open this one, now we will see that a local copy of my mailbox will be saved to D Exchange. So this will save us a lot of space on the operating system partition, which is very crucial or very important for the operating system to properly work. Okay, so now we have done this. Okay, and the OST file will be automatically moved and created in the D partition. Okay, so now we can delete the email. Anyway, we don't need all of this, so we can go and do the next tweak or do another thing. So now we have done a lot of things. Now the next tweak that we will do, so we have done a tweak to move a local copy of my mailbox by default from the C to the D partition. Now we are doing another tweak to Windows 11. We all know that from the beginning of Windows XP and Windows 7, when you have a problem to access the Windows normally, if it is XP or Windows 7, during the boot of the operating system, you can press F7 and you will have some options appearing for you to access the safe mode, or to access safe mode with network, or safe mode with command prompt. So if you are having problems to access the Windows XP or Windows 7 normally, access them normally, so you can restart the machine, and then during the boot process of the Windows XP or Windows 7, you can press F7, and there you'll have something called advanced booting options will appear for you. Some of them, these options are called safe mode. Safe mode, it is a mode of Windows that will enable you to troubleshoot the Windows to make it boot or to access it normally. So Windows safe mode, it is a kind of Windows, or a small kind of Windows, or a mode of Windows that will enable you to troubleshoot the Windows and to make it boot normally. Okay, so this was in Windows 7 and Windows XP. During the boot process, you can press F7 and you'll have advanced boot options, so you can choose safe mode to use this safe mode to repair your Windows. Anyway, this disappeared from Windows 10 and Windows 11. They say that they have deleted or they have disabled this option to make the booting process of the Windows 10 and 11 much faster. Anyway, we will do a certain tweak, okay, to make these modes appear again, but not by pressing F7, but it will appear during the boot process of the Windows 11. So when we are finished with this tweak, when you restart the machine, you will have a menu telling you to boot normally to the Windows 11, or to boot in Windows 11 safe mode, or Windows 11 safe mode with network or with internet, or safe mode with command prompt, or to access a Windows mode only using commands, not a graphical interface. Anyway, so we need to restore the advanced boot options that were previously used in Windows XP and Windows 7. These advanced boot options will let you access Windows in safe mode, or safe mode with network, or safe mode with command prompt. So let's see how we can do this trick. So we will tell him cmd, and then we will type a certain command. We will type it and execute it 3 times. Okay, we are executing it 3 times to create 3 modes. The first mode will be the safe mode, the second time will be the safe mode with network, and the last one will be the safe mode with command prompt. So we need to tell him cmd, or to access the command prompt, but you need to access it as an administrator, so run as administrator, and then you tell him yes, and then we will type this command, okay, to create a mode, or to create, or to tell the computer, or tell the Windows to access the safe mode. You will see what I mean, but let's first type this command and I'll show you all what I mean. We will see the final result. Anyway, so we will create 3 modes. This command will create 3 modes, or will create 3 lines that the Windows will execute. The first line is the safe mode. Okay, so it is the safe mode, and then the second line will be safe mode with network, and the last line will be safe mode with command prompt. So now we have done this. Now we will change the last one to tell him safe mode with network, okay, or safe mode with command prompt. This will let you access the Windows but without the graphical interface, with commands only. Okay, so this is safe mode with command prompt, and the last one will be safe mode with network, or with internet access. So now we have another line. So I'm creating the safe mode line, and then the safe mode with command prompt, and the safe mode with network. Okay, so I need to tell you another info. So what if I need to access these modes without F7? So I have said that this was or these advanced boot options was removed from Windows 10 and Windows 11. If you press F7, you will not get anything on Windows 10 or Windows 11. So how I can access these modes without the Windows 7, or without using, or without doing what I am doing now? You simply can go to, but this you should boot normally. So if you cannot access the Windows, these steps will not be useful. If you need to access the Windows safe mode, or Windows safe mode with network, or Windows safe mode with command prompt, you should boot to the Windows normally, or you access the Windows normally, and then tell him setting, okay, and then go to let's see, I think to the system, okay, and then go to something called recovery. Let me see here, something called recovery, or something called, let me see, it is, no, not from here, something called recovery. So if we go further, I think we can go to the update and security, yes, and then to the recovery. Okay, and this option, okay, here will tell him that advanced startup. If you click this and tell him restart now, he will give you the advanced boot options and let you choose to access safe mode or other than that. Okay, but this should be done when you can access the windows normally. But what about if you cannot access the windows at all? Okay, this not will help you. Okay, but what I am doing now here, I will force the windows before booting or before accessing the windows normally. You will be given options to access it in safe mode or in safe mode with network or safe mode with command prompt. Don't bother yourself, you will see the final results anyway. So now we have done 3 types of booting, and then after that we will have created the 3 modes, and then tell him exit, and then we will type run, and then msconfig. Now we are configuring the 3 lines and informing the Windows what is safe mode, or what it will do when you press on safe mode. Okay, so we'll go to something called boot. Okay, and then here we can see that the 3 lines are created here. This is the first line that will let you boot to the Windows normally. Okay, as for the 3 other lines, we can see here that there is something called safe mode. So we will click on this safe mode and tell him to safe mode minimal. By saying safe mode minimal, this will let you access, or we are informing the Windows that when we click on this line, we will safe mode minimal or access Windows in safe mode. Then we will right click or we will click on this command prompt mode and click safe mode again and tell him alternative shell. Alternative shell, we will access the safe mode but with command prompt without graphical interface. And as for the last one, we will right click or we will left click safe mode and tell him network. So we are informing the Windows that every line we press, it will do a certain thing. If you press safe mode, we will check safe mode minimal, so it will go to the safe mode minimal. Okay, if we press on safe mode with network or with safe mode with command prompt, it will go to alternative shell mode, which is safe mode with command prompt. As for the last one, it will be with network or with internet. I will show you all live, or after doing this we will test it one by one, but just see what I'm doing and we will test it later. So now we will tell him safe mode, and then we will click on safe mode minimal. This is the one, and then we will go and tell him safe mode with command prompt. This is the second line, and we will tell him to do alternative shell. This is the second one. And for the third one, we will tell him network, and then we will click this make all boot setting permanent, and we will try this mode one by one. Okay, and we will see that I do not need to press F7. All of these options will be available for me without pressing any key or any hotkey. So let's see, after doing this we will make a restart. Let's see how we can access the different modes for Windows. Okay, the safe mode with command prompt, the safe mode with network. So we tell him restart, and then let's see what will appear for us. So if we make restart, now we will see something. It will not boot normally, or it will not boot Windows 11 directly in a normal mode. It will give you an option, will give you some options. So let's see what are these options and what they talk about. So if you go and tell him to boot, okay, to the Windows, it will not boot directly. It will give you a menu, okay, to choose what mode you need to boot to. You need to boot normally, or you need to boot to normal mode, or safe mode with network, or safe mode with command prompt. So let's see these options, what will appear. Now I am booting normally, but this will not be for long. Now I will have a pop-up giving me advanced boot options. Okay, so by the way, this step will make the booting time for the Windows it will take more time, but not as much time as all of us can imagine. It is only a matter of seconds. Okay, anyway, so let's see what will happen. Now it is booting, okay, and it will give me a menu. Okay, actually I'm working now with a normal hard disk, so this is explains why the booting process is more slower than the usual. if you are working with solid state drives, this will be much faster. Anyway, so we can see here now that we have different booting options. Now if we press Windows 11, this will take us to the Windows normally, and it will log into the Windows normally. If we press safe mode, or safe mode with command prompt, or safe mode with network, all of this will take us to a Windows safe mode. Okay, here is one disadvantage of this boot menu. Okay, this will be available for all users. Okay, so a user can access the safe mode, or safe mode with command prompt, or safe mode with network. The default option will be Windows 11, but the user can tweak or can access these different modes. Anyway, he will not be able to do anything because he don't have any access on the machine, or he doesn't have an administrator account, but this will be available for the IT and for the non-IT personnel. But I prefer these options because you will not be able to access any safe mode unless you go to or access the Windows normally and press the recovery options and then restart, or if you have a DVD for Windows 11 to boot with it and tell him to repair. But this is much faster and will let you access the Windows safe mode more quicker. Anyway, let's try and see the different options. If you tell him safe mode, if you press safe mode, it will get us to the Windows, but we will see that the graphics is not, or we are working with minimal display setting. Okay, so now it will make a restart, and then if we go further and go further, now we can see that it gives us the account, and then we put the password. Here this mode will disable network. Okay, so you will not have internet access. You can access the Windows without internet or without network. The safe mode, the first option, will let you access the Windows without internet access. So let's see what is the thing. Here we can see that the display, it is not correct, or we can see that it's not optimized. Okay, and we can see here that we don't have any internet access. Okay, so this is the safe mode with minimal display setting, and you don't have internet access. This is the first option of safe mode. If you access safe mode with command prompt, you will not given a graphical interface for the Windows. You will be given commands or a black screen, and you will use in this black screen commands to manage the Windows. So let's see the second mode. Okay, restart, and then we will choose the safe mode with command prompt, and then we will see the last one, which is with network. So now we will choose the second option, which is safe mode with command prompt. Let's see what will happen after we do this. Now we are given the user, and we need to provide the password. Let's see what will happen. If we press enter, we will see that we are not accessing the Windows with a graphical interface. We are given a black screen, and through this black screen we can manage the Windows, and there is no internet access. So this is another mode of Windows. There is the safe mode with command prompt, and all of these modes are given to the IT or to the user to troubleshoot the Windows. Okay, so anyway, you can see that you are given a command prompt to manage the Windows. Here there is a command that I can start the Windows or restart. So here you can see that this is a command that we can use to restart the Windows. Anyway, we will tell him restart from the program itself. So now restart, and then we will choose the last option to access the safe mode with network or with internet access. So now we will choose the safe mode with network. Here you can see that the default option is to access Windows 11 normally. So we'll go to the safe mode with network, and then let's see what will happen. Now we are provided with the username, and then we will put the password and then press enter. Now we can see that we can have internet access. Now we will have minimal display, and then we are having internet access. So this is the only mode or safe mode that you can have internet access through it. So we have tried all of these modes, and the main disadvantage of this way that these modes will be available for the IT and for the normal users. Anyway, we'll make restart, or before that we can tell him cmd and try to ping Yahoo to make sure that we can access the internet. We can tell him ping Yahoo to make sure that we can access the internet. This is the configuration, the IP configuration, that makes sure that I have access to my router so I can get to the internet. Here we can ping Yahoo, so now we can access the internet. Now we will return back our restart, and then we'll go to the normal Windows mode. So tell him restart, and then let's see here, we will choose the Windows normal mode. We will choose the Windows normal mode. Let's continue, guys. Now we'll make the normal, or we access the Windows normal mode. So we provided the password, and then we will do other tweaks. So the last step, but we'll do it in the upcoming video. Now we will make this Kareem or care of 4 Windows account profile to be the master profile or the default profile for all of the users that will be created on this machine. This we do it with a program called devprof, but we do it in the upcoming video. Here we will prepare another user. So I have only one user on this machine, which is Kairaouf. We'll create another account, and through this other account we will tell him to copy this profile and make it the default profile for all of the users using the devprof. So we can do this from another account. Anyway, we will see how this will be done. So we will go to right click this PC and create another account and log in with it, and tell him to copy this profile and make it the default profile for all of the Windows users. Anyway, so we will continue. First of all, here I see that the timing is 24 hours. I need to change it from 24 hours to be 12 hours. Okay, so we'll go to the region, and then I will change the time, or additional setting. Okay, additional setting, and then I will change it from 24 hours to HH. It is non-capital or small letters. That means that it will be in 12 hours. It will display as 01, not 13. Okay, anyway, so this is a good thing. Now we need to create another account to use it to copy this profile and make it the default Windows profile. Okay, so first of all, I don't need this one. Okay, I think we can go further. Also, this is not a way. Anyway, so we need to go, or right click again. We can tell him first, I will take a snapshot. Before that, I will take a snapshot of the machine. Okay, before doing anything else, I need to create a backup of this machine, because we will do other things later. So we need to take a backup or take a snapshot before tweaking tools. We will use tweaking tools or tweakers to do some changes in the Windows. We have discussed what are tweakers before. Anyway, so I am taking an image or a snapshot, and then I will create another user. So right click and tell him manage. Okay, not properties, I think we need to tell him manage. Anyway, so we'll create another user, but before that I have missed something in the advanced system setting. We need to go to remote tab and tell him to allow remote connections to the computer, but only network level authentication, or only some users in the network will be allowed to access remotely this machine, and to disable remote assistant, because remote assistant can be available for anyone, not any authenticated user within our network. This will be available for any user, okay, or this will available for normal users, okay. So any user can allow or can invite anyone from outside to access his machine using the remote assistant connection. But this option, you should have the remote desktop program installed, and the user should be authorized to use the remote desktop program, okay. And you select the users that will have access to the remote desktop connection program, but this any user can use it, okay. So we need to disable this option. This is one of the recommendations of the Department of Defense of the United States. Anyway, so we will disable this option, and we will open this option to allow remote connections to the computer. So now we have done this, okay, and now we need to create an account. So let's go further, and we will right click and tell him manage. Let's see here, right click and manage, okay. And then we need to make sure that all of the drivers are verified, because we will take an image of this machine. So now we are completely sure that the machine, all of its drivers are installed, and we need to make sure that the date and time, it is not Canada, this is in Egypt, so we need to change the time zone to reflect Cairo, okay. This can be changed by a registry I have done, or with a login registry, with a login script I have done, okay. We have discussed this in the beginning of the video. We have a script to change the time, and now this is not 10 p.m. this is 1 p.m. okay. So we need to change the time and check the date and time, because this will be an image, or it will be taken as an image, so the time and date should be correct, okay. So now I think maybe now the video is finished. The upcoming video will begin using the tweakers to tweak the Windows more and make it more familiar to the users, and we will make care for the default profile for every user on this machine. Hope this video informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and share and comment on the video. Thank you so much.